Greetings, everyone. Grand rising, good morning, whatever. Grand rising, good morning. My name is Sanahara Ama Chandra, and I'd like to welcome you to the Sacred Mother Portal. As we come together today, I have a few things on my mind, and my heart, as we are moving towards the longest night, the darkest time of our year. It's very interesting, and from that dark period where we're going to kind of stand still for 3 days, we'll then slowly begin our ascent back into the light or the longer days of the year. And this is only relevant for those of us in the northern hemisphere. For our family in the southern hemisphere, they're experiencing something very different. Give thanks for balance, right? So before we go too far, I'm going to invite you all into some breath work with me. And essentially, we are going to use our breath, connect with ourselves. So welcome, and as you come in, as usual, please use your breath right now to kind of center into yourself. So we'll do 3 breaths, and we'll go from there. All right, so let's breathe in together. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. And I'm being called in my spirit to lean into the energy of gratitude. So if you're with me right now, I'm going to ask you to type into the chat something right now that you are grateful for. Anything. Small, big, ridiculous, funny. It doesn't matter. No judgment on what shows up for you. I just want us to all, and for me to hear, and so we can increase the frequency of gratitude before we go into this conversation around vulnerability and the unknown. This is important as we are moving into the darkest time of our year for those of us in the northern hemisphere. So let's do some gratitude statements. I'm going to say that I am incredibly grateful for self-awareness. I am grateful for lotion to rub on my hands. I'm grateful for this beautiful necklace that I found. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for this light, this wonderful tripod system that I received as a gift through the Socially Distant Fest, because my tripod broke and they supported me as an artist, as a member of the community. I am grateful for possibilities. I am grateful for hope. I am grateful to know that stories can be just that. And stories are not always what is. So thank you all for joining me on that frequency of gratitude, who've come in and put in your thoughts about what things help you to feel that gratitude frequency. Because now we're going to share a little bit about vulnerability and the unknown. As many of us are moving into this year, this holiday season, this time of family and friends, or darkness, whatever you call it. Some people don't celebrate the holidays, so it's just the snow and the cold. Whatever you are moving into and through the largest calendar, our solar calendar that we're moving through that impacts us on our earth. It is taking us into the dark. And the dark by itself is symbolic of the unknown. When we move into the dark, it is symbolic of moving into the unknown. And if you have been getting information, little hits, we have to remember a few things. One, all of our adrenals have been tapped this year, meaning our ability to deal with stress has been stress and overwhelm and a sense of being on edge. All of us have dealt with that this year significantly, either because of worry about what could happen or worrying about what is happening. Our adrenal glands, in fact, with that being said, give some love to your kidneys right now. If you're listening to this, put your hands to the lower part of your back and give some love to your kidneys, because right now our adrenal glands have really held us as we've been journeying at this time of really deep vulnerability. And so as we're journeying through this time of deep vulnerability, we are also dealing with this continued unknown. So there's a symbolism of the unknown of the dark. There's a symbolism of the unknown of our lives. And what are we going to do and what's going to happen with this? And all of these things can continue to possibly tie us even tighter into knots. This actually negatively impacts our immune system. Like, wow. Like when we go into the worry, the doubt, the fear, the how, the overwhelm, it can be enough to take us out. And so you might be finding that you're checking out of difficult things like, I just can't. Your capacity to do those things may be getting less. Your need for sleep might be increasing. Your desire for escaping may be becoming more and more right there. Or you just might feel like a deer in headlights with some things. And then some of us aren't having any of that at all. And we give thanks for you, because that's the ebb and flow, right? Some are down while some are up. And we kind of are meeting somewhere in there. There we go. Some are down while some are up. And that kind of energetics is what helps the whole thing float. It helps the whole thing float as we begin seeking for those who go down to not go as down, and those who are up to go higher up. That's how we begin to access this other paradigm as a collective, this other energy grid as a collective. But when we are moving in the unknown, it is very normal to feel vulnerable. And what I saw this morning as I was doing my prayers and getting ready for this conversation was feeling naked. Naked in a room full of people where your thoughts, your concerns, your reality may feel judged. You might feel like you're going to be judged or attacked. And that can come from others out there in your mind, but out there, that can come from real people expressing their needs and what they want and what they have clear. And all of these things can impact us around feeling vulnerable, feeling heard, feeling seen. And I had the experience recently of recognizing what happens in our sovereignty movement. I believe in sovereignty. I also believe that there is a giving unconditionally, that you don't even have to recognize or ask for it. It just shows up. And that level of concern that I'm speaking about, I had someone say to me, if you could just tell me what you need, I can help you. I'll try to help you. But I need you to tell me what you need. So what that does is for some of us, it completely shuts us down because we don't know what we need. We know we need something though. And when you don't feel safe and you are knowing that you are in this unknown and needy place, and you are knowing you need something, but the persons who might be around you may be saying to you, just tell me what you need. That can be one of the most isolating spaces, where you then feel the need to close the doors and disconnect. And if you've ever felt like that, if you're feeling like that, if you're moving through that kind of a time and space, it can be really hard to find that safe place that you can say these things out loud, where you can say, I don't know what I need, but I know I need help. For you to be able to see this, and it helped me understand my children, because I was going to my children, they've only been on the planet for a certain amount of time, a limited amount of time. And many of us adults will say to our children, well, you need to tell me what you need. Do you know what you need? Are you together? Do you know? Not very loving, right? Do you know what you need? I need you to tell me what you need so I can help you. But if you can't tell me what you need, then I can't help you. Many of our children don't know what they need. They know they need something though. They know they need to be seen and heard and possibly assisted, even if it's simply by a loving, consistent person who will show up and say, how can I support you? How about this? Oh, I saw this and you came to mind. Would this help you? I did this. You came to mind. I brought it to you. All of these are ways that we can be there as we're all walking this very vulnerable walk into the unknown. We're all walking into the unknown. Every last one of us. Even the ones who think they know. The people who are telling you, well, based on this, this, and this, and this, my calculations show that this, and this. Now, there are times when that works. And then there are times when it doesn't. So, that there's this letting go and this trust that we're asked for a lot of times when we're in really vulnerable spaces. I don't know where you lean into trust, but for me, a big part of this, knowing how to get through these dark days into the next coming dark days before the spring shows up, a lot of that has to do with tapping that gratitude frequency, writing things down and beginning the process of uncovering my own thoughts so I can self-witness, and being in safe and healthy relationships with family and friends where I know I can be heard and loved and supported. We can do that for each other. As we move into how do we create this new world, there'll be many people who will be afraid as we work to lift up this energy of the collective grid. And when I mean grid, I literally mean grid. I mean strands of energetic connection between each of us, where we are held in this almost like a gossamer threaded golden trend, like golden illuminated, golden iridescent, that's what I want to say. Golden and iridescent light, like spider webs, but energy that is connecting me, you, we. Where sometimes you're like, I don't even know why I came to that place. Why did I turn you on today? Some of you might be saying, I've never seen this woman before, but she's given me something that I need. I've had people find me or find these conversations. That's the soft force. That is the grid. That is what we're activating at this time. So as we are moving and walking along this path to Monday, this Monday, December 21st, 12/21/2020, will be the time of the winter solstice. It will also be the time when Jupiter and Saturn are conjunct in the sky, creating what looks like a giant star called a Christmas star. It's going to be kind of beautiful. And so the light that we are to carry for me right now is the light of love, the light of compassion, the light of forgiveness of self and others, the light of understanding that we don't have to do it all, but that if we do our best and then let the rest go, give it over. If you don't know who to give it to, I tell you, you don't know what to do. Give that extra energy to your housework or to your affairs or to some business going on in your mind. And then toss it out there into your spirit, what it is that you need. Like right now, I'm sorting through a number of things in my mind. Not just for myself, but for my loved ones. It's important to me to be there for my loved ones. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, Spirit, how? And then I get out of my head and I know to go into my heart and then begin moving my body with the prayer that as I move my body, doing work, getting things done, that the answer will fall out. And that happens a lot. So if you're feeling vulnerable, if you're dealing with a lot of the unknown, know that you're not alone in that either. This is unprecedented time and energy for all of us here on this earth plane. None of us have been through anything like this before. We might have some things that feel the same, but yeah, none of this is business as usual. And I think, and I hope it will help us to really integrate that it never has been business as usual. It has only been agreements after agreements for now moments. And our agreements kept the business happening as usual. That's just how it is. That kept it as usual. This is what we do. That kept business as usual. I can't help you because this is what it is and I have to be this way. Has kept it business as usual. But our sincerity towards creating a new way, not just for ourselves, but for our children, for our legacy, for our, for each other. I think about the fact that living in a good and quality way, I'll see my 30s. In like 30 years, I'll be, strongly in my 70s. 30 years. That seems like a long time ago, but my goodness. Feels like I flashed and was 46. Like, what the? Boom. But so much life has occurred. And I want to be a well cared for, well-loved elder. You heard what I said. I want to be a well cared for, well-loved elder. So I want to do that work now to create spaces and a harmonic where we care for and love our elders now. And as we create that now, maybe it'll be there. I don't know. But I'll be vulnerable enough to say that that's important to me. I'll be vulnerable enough to say that I want us to not have to, choose our job over our loved ones. To choose where we live based on the fact that this is all that we have the opportunity to participate in. So much of what we have to deal with is only chosen because we feel like we have no other choice. When the choice is choose your children and be homeless or choose to stay with an abusive partner, what kind of choice points are those? And then we have incompassionate others who will say, well, that's just because you made other choices. Honey, let's not do that. This is the time to come out of those paradigms because it is only going to bring the entire collective down in vibration and possibility. I need well for you. I need you well. I need you well so that your heart can overflow, so that generosity can just simply be. And even if you have to awaken to greater levels of generosity, then we all can. I am working to do the same too. But yeah, I think that's it for now. I feel like I'm just kind of rambling now. We'll deal a little bit more. I may have some more things to share in some message videos. I sometimes do message videos on my page. And there may be some message videos that will come through around this energy of vulnerability. But I'm clear that the way that we have been living, the way that I have been living, is no longer acceptable for me. I need to be able to center my children in my life. Period. Even as a single mother. That's where it gets interesting, right? Because we will give all these reasons why parents can't center their children. Or when they do, we have a lot to say about it. I get it. We got a lot of pain. But compassion leads to the healing. That is the frequency I've been charged to move through with, to help us with compassion and healing. It's the compassion and the healing that will create a better relationship between our heart and our mind. Our heart says one thing, our mind says another, and we dismiss our heart and go with our mind and wonder why the hell we're fucked up. We will dismiss our heart and go for our mind. We need them to be in right relationship. Like, I need you to think about this. This might be a space for a boundary so that your shadow doesn't show up. Oh, okay. Boundary. Yes, that feels better. Checking your heart. Yes, that feels better. So boundary. I need to establish some boundaries with you right now, because this thing occurred and it didn't feel so good. And so I want to make sure that, and then if the other person is again not in shadow and operating from heart, mind, let's see. So what I'm hearing you say is you need some boundaries because this didn't feel good. And I didn't understand that it didn't feel good, but I'm accepting that it didn't feel good for you. This is the new dynamic that we are having to co-create. Vulnerability, though, means a lot of folk won't hear us when we express our needs because they're caught up in their own pain. You can tell someone you need something and they will show you that. You can even say, I need you to blah. And they will say, yeah, so I did this over here. You're like, but I said that. And they said, but this. And that is this and this, not coherent. Coherence is a relationship between the two. And we really want left brain, right brain coherence. We want both sides of our brain to communicate through that corpus callosum. That's the middle line. And when we follow that midline, that's the pillar that I've been speaking to you all about, becoming pillars of light. That is when you can be one through your middle, and that expands out. It includes all things. So you are a harmonic between your left and right selves. Your mental capacity and your emotional feeling capacity. Your instinct, which is the feeling capacity. And your wisdom, which is your lived experience, your knowledge, that which you have gained, your skill set. Those two things have to become coherent. They have to come into relationship. And in coming in relationship, in that midline, that corpus callosum, we now have created that link that comes from our root all the way up. It comes from our root. It comes into our creative passions, our sacral. It comes into our creative passion. Then it fuels our will, our confidence, our self-pride. This coherence comes all the way up and it feeds our self-pride, our ability to know ourselves. And all of it's fed from this heart. All of it's fed from this heart. Not being starved, being fed. So that our heart's neurological system, yes, our heart has a neurological system, can continue to work and communicate with it. So now we're moving into voice and expression. This is the line. our voice and expression coming right up this channel through this creative vortex. We call it our voice box, but it looks like that. Our voice box there, creating these elements for air and things to move through, and we speak. And we keep coming up. We come all the way up. And right here in the middle is the third eye. The ajna, there's two. There's the eye, and then there's divine intelligence. And we go all the way up into our sacred crown. It's just there. It's energetic biology, and it simply should make sense. We should be able to explain it to a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, a baby. They can understand the line, and we want both sides to go in place. That way it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense to 3-year-olds, then it shouldn't. We're using extra logic. Don't get me wrong, I'm tripping. Sometimes things won't make sense to 3-year-olds, so I get it. I don't take it too literal, but I want you to understand that we all need to have as much compassion on this healing journey, moving into the unknown. We're going to find out things about ourselves in this journey into the dark. We're going to have to forgive it. We're going to have to accept it. We're going to have to look at it. Look at it, accept it. Make peace with it. Know how it was trying to serve us, and then make decisions on how it can serve and how you have to watch it so it doesn't hurt. We have to look at it. Like when people try to tell you stuff that you don't want to hear, and you close your ears, and you close your eyes, and you don't want to deal with any of that stuff. Yeah, that's the part we have to stop. That's the part that we have to stop. Because as we stop that flow of trying to control it, we can then, or deny it, we can then have greater insight into ourselves. It's a collective. And that insight of looking at it, accepting it, knowing how it has helped and hindered. Helping and hindering can be the same. They can help you. It can also hinder you. You have to find the balance there. This is the coherence. So then you can bring it into alignment with you. You don't get rid of you. We don't get rid of our shadow. We don't get rid of our vulnerability. We learn how to move through the world with the world, because it's a new moment every day. Every moment is a now new, now new, now new. Every moment is a continual unfolding. So as we unfold, we have to have skills that can support us if we were dropped into another brand new unknown. If I'm dropped into a brand new unknown, I know I need to first realize what's going on in me. I'm nervous. I don't know this. I don't know. So when I don't know, the story of fear, and I don't know, I'm feeling what's going on. Breath. And that by itself can be enough space, just enough space in between to allow the light to come in and maybe whisper, shine for you some wisdom needed to get you through that unknown into self-knowing, into relationship of being one who can move in the dark. I've had to learn how to move in the dark, and my goodness, I keep having more dark. Today has been, last night, yesterday, into today have been some darkness showing up. I don't know. It makes sense though. How do I still shine a light even when I don't know? So, thank you all for allowing me your gracious selves. I'm going to read again from today. This series we've been reading from Julia Cameron's book. She's the author of The Artist Way. And this is Prayers to the Great Creator. It is prayers, declarations for a meaningful life. And I love this book. So we're going to do bibliomancy. I always just go through and pick a page. And normally it speaks or supports what we just shared and talked about. So let's see. Okay. Okay. No one's death comes to pass without making some impression, and those close to the deceased inherit part of the liberated soul and become richer in their humanness. By Herman Brock. All of life is interconnected and ongoing. There is no death to the spirit of those I love. As I mourn the physical passing of my beloveds, I open to meet them anew in an ongoing spiritual connection. Subtle but resilient, our relationship goes forward. As I open my heart to continued connection, I encounter the spark of intuition, the lamp of guidance which signals the shared ongoing path. Those who leave me do so only in body. The physical vehicle falls away, but the beloved spirit continues to live and even to prosper. Ours is a journey of shared hearts. Death is a passageway, not an ending. As I open my heart to continued connection, my beloveds are carried forward by my love. Today, I am brave enough to open to continued connections. I am alert to small signs and signals which speak to me of my beloved's ongoing presence. Ashe. We'll play the bowls, and I wish you all a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rest of the day. The link for the Monday's gathering will be forthcoming. We will be having gatherings at 6, 12, 6, and 11 Eastern Standard Time as meditations, elemental meditations for the solstice. We will connect with the grid through the format of the earth. We'll connect with the grid through the fire. We'll connect through the grid through the water, and we will connect with the grid through the air. I thank you all so much for your love and support. And yeah, thank you. Choose to follow, like, share. I appreciate you. darkness of the day. I step forward with all my senses in play. I don't deny myself access to my dreams. I don't deny myself access to the knowings. The subtle energies that reveal the way to love. And there are times when it all falls down. There are times when it all falls down. And I have to remember, I ask love to reveal itself. I ask the Mother to take control of my life. I ask towards the beginning of it all to unite me in the light. And so I'm learning to accept all the things I live in peace. I am learning to be one with everything. I am one with everything. I'm safe with myself. I am one with everything, welcoming in the peace that it brings. I am safe with myself. I am safe with myself. All I have to do is know and trust myself, and I am home. I am home. I am home in myself. Blessings and greetings to you all. I thank you for your connection. Mother says the mission is to hold the frequency. So let's hold the frequency of love, of trust, of knowing what we know, even when we're dealing in the unknown. Knowing that if we're being asked to come undone, it is only so that we can have a deeper in knowing. Deeper in, higher up, until we are connected one to the other. So, thank you. I'll see y'all tomorrow.